in wellness, that is skincare and weight loss. A lot has been said in the press recently about weight loss, and I'm going to talk about one of the things that is one of the biggest innovations. You know, Oprah Winfrey, everyone's talking about it. But first I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. This is our third talk, and I'm actually really excited because we've been able to try and bring a lot together in terms of wellness and medical practice. In essence, what we're trying to do is create a Medi-Spa, and we have created a Medi-Spa here, which brings in some of the finest skincare products, some of the finest skincare therapists who are here with us, some of the finest doctors who are going to be presenting to you, so that we can bring you the best quality in wellness and health. There's a lot out there that people talk about, and they call it wellness or well-being. But what we're going to bring to you is evidence-based medicine and spa treatment therapies. This is integral because when you look at your life and your body or your life force, somebody asked me today, why do you do what you do? And I literally said, I'm in the business of making people feel good, because life is about feelings. How do we feel every single day? Feelings get transposed to other people. Feelings make us work better. Feelings allow us to achieve our goals and successes. So that's why I do what I do. And I think as an Infinity Spa, that's a whole ethos that we've wrapped around the entire program that we do over here. And we want you all to be able to have a little bit of a snippet into some of the programs that we're going to start running. We've got everything from gym facilities to saunas, to jacuzzis, to nutritionists, to the medical therapists that we've talked about, to doctors, everything all under one roof. And this, I feel, is really powerful because a lot of people travel from place to place. Today I had a clinic, a cosmetic clinic in the afternoon, and a lot of people are really excited now that we have in-house doctors based here at Infinity Spa, where they can actually receive the therapies that they want to have that are medical, and the treatments, the options that are there, plus also have the alternative therapies like physiotherapy all under one roof. So this is, I think, a real change in the region. And I hope this talk will give you a little bit of a snippet about what we're doing here. This will just be a series of talks that we're going through. So as I said, my name is Dr. Don. I'm going to start off this talk talking about something that's quite emotive. A lot of people talk about health, wellness, but we miss one big thing that everybody seems to worry about: weight. Weight is something that throughout time has always been something, especially in the modern era, that people have battled with in one way, shape, or form. I have run clinics in weight and weight loss for over, I'd probably say, a decade and a half. And one of the things that everybody says when they've gained weight is they just don't feel themselves. Now, remember what I said at the beginning. I said, I'm in the business of helping people feel good. So when someone doesn't feel themselves, it doesn't feel quite right, there's a disconnect. I've got this theory that we all have this ideal weight where our energy levels are at its peak. And everybody who's been at the weight where they feel good knows what that weight is. So for me, weight is not just about blood pressure, obesity, arthritis, cardiovascular disease. It's about how you feel, right? There's three C's that I call it. It's about connection to yourself, it's about confidence, and it's about understanding how we connect to the world. Those three C's are so important, but we don't talk about them as doctors. And so hopefully today I'll be able to tell you about something that can help you understand why actually we're doing a weight loss program in the way we're doing it and using the tools we're doing it. Now, I've done keto programs before with patients. I've talked about intermittent fasting. The science is there. Some people say they work sometimes, and then sometimes they don't work. What we're going to do is talk about something that we have very solid science on how it works. Now, I know online you probably don't have access to the screens that we have, but I'll just be going through some of the concepts around what we're going to be talking about, which is the weight loss pen. Sorry, just before I go into that, I'll just tell you about how this talk is going to flow. We're going to have a little bit of the weight, and then we're going to talk about medical grade skincare products. Then we're going to be talking about advanced therapies, and the team from the spa is actually going to be talking about that. Dr. Charlene Opande is going to be talking about the advanced medical skincare products, and I'll introduce her just as I finish this section. So here we go, the weight loss pen. Before we kick into that, this whole title of this talk was about postmenopausal weight gain. Now, a lot of people don't really understand what this is, and not because of ignorance, but because we just as a society have not talked about it. When you think about what happens during the menopause, if people understood this, and I think in the next 5-10 years, a lot of women will know about what these things are, simply because just like the way everyone's talking about HRT, now it will become a commonplace. One of the biggest things that happens in the menopause or the perimenopause stage is fluctuations in hormones. Now, estrogen is the biggest hormone that actually has a big dip in the perimenopausal time. Now, estrogen is so heavily associated with fat distribution in the body during different stages in a woman's life. And when you have changes in and fluctuations in estrogen, you have a whole host of things that actually change simply because that estrogen, which we call the power hormone in any woman, actually starts to drop. So these hormonal changes, what does that mean? You have different things going on in the body. Your metabolism changes. Now, as we get older, few people understand that when you get older, you have decreased metabolic needs. And the decreased metabolic needs means you do not need to eat as much as you do. Now, when you're going through the perimenopause and the menopause, it's a very stressful time in life. So during times of stress, the human body or human being wants to eat more. So it's actually paradoxical. We need less energy the older we get to be able to function every day in terms of calories, but actually we're consuming more. And so that's one of the first reasons why weight gain starts to creep up. On average, about 1 kilogram per year from the age of about 40 to 50. And so when a woman hits about the age of 45 and she's in the perimenopausal stage, she's probably picked up about 5 kilos of weight, which is a lot. And when you're hitting about 50, that's 10 kilos of weight, which now becomes a problem. So we need to understand our metabolism as we age and also in relation to the menopause. The other thing is that we lose muscle mass. There's a whole concept called sarcopenia. And sarcopenia essentially is loss of muscle mass. There's a lot of studies coming out now, and one of the most powerful ones that I've actually read was that if you were to decrease the rate of somebody's risk of dying, the one thing that you could do, aside from any other interventions, so leave smoking, cutting down alcohol, weight loss, is actually to increase the muscle mass. Your muscle mass increasing between the age of 40 and 50 actually is the best predictor of you not dying in that period of time. Now, it sounds a bit mind-blowing, but this is hard science. So sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass, is actually something that happens gradually, a lot quicker in the perimenopause and the menopause, because women generally don't have as much testosterone. And this is actually one of the reasons now why you start to gain weight. And the reason is because muscle mass is actually the furnace of the body. So we burn energy and we burn fat with a lot of muscle. When we decrease the muscle mass in the body, that's almost like turning down the temperature in the oven in the furnace. And as a result, you start to put on weight and you start to pick up fat. That's one of the biggest things. The next thing is lifestyle. We just get slower. As you get to 40, as you get to 45, as you get to 50, you're not running around as much as you did in your 20s and your 30s. We start to get tired. We start to get tired early in the evening. One of the reasons why we get tired is we have something called NAD which drops, right? That's a talk for a completely different day. But NAD is essentially the life force in most of the cells in our muscles and in our bodies. So when you have this dropping, you generally have less and less energy. The estimates are that when you're born, you have the most amount of NAD. Every 2 decades, your NAD level halves. So when you're born, by the time you're 20, it's half. By the time you're 40, it's a quarter of what you were born with. So no wonder you start to get tired at 40, and no wonder you start getting tired as you get older. When you get tired and you slow down, at that point now, you start to gain weight because your metabolism actually starts to drop as well. The last fact is sleep disturbances. When you have hot flushes, when you have issues with insomnia and you don't sleep, you have a stress hormone called cortisol, which increases. This increase in cortisol makes us feel more stressed. The more stressed you are, the likelihood is that you're going to look for carbs or something that's going to help you actually get less stress. So combining all these factors makes a whole situation that makes women start to gain weight as you go into your 40s and into your 50s. A scientific or one biological thing that happens is that we have what we call increased insulin resistance. This is what we call prediabetes. And a lot of people are more predisposed to developing this in the perimenopausal stages. So if you look at the weight loss plan, why do I talk about the weight loss plan? Because through the years, I've spoken to so many people about weight and weight loss. And you know, if there was a magic wand, a lot of my patients would say, if there was a magic wand, what would they want? And a lot of people would say, if there was a tablet that would help me lose weight, if there was an injection that could help me lose weight, they would take it. It's finally here. It's a simple, uncomplicated way of losing weight. And the reason I say uncomplicated is food and weight are very emotive. And we get really, really caught up in obsessing about food, thinking about diets. Are we putting on weight? Have we binged on the weekend? Are we being good? We chastise ourselves if we've had a big meal out. You know, if we've lost some weight, we feel good, we gain weight. It's a yo-yo, life, always up and always down. So why I look at the weight loss pen is that it takes the emotion out of living into association with food. If you look at our obsession and association with food, because when we're depressed, we eat more. Sometimes when we're celebrating, we eat more. So there's a lot that goes on. And so if we can actually separate that and use food as fuel and get on with our lives, for me, that would be a huge, huge difference. There's been a lot in the news recently about the weight loss pen. There's some controversies. People talk about, are we promoting eating disorders? That conversation is still there because eating disorders are real. The thing about the weight loss pen is they've not seen an increase in eating disorders since the weight loss pen has been launched. So that's not something that really holds water. Unfortunately, it's not a very cheap product. So you're not going to have a lot of people running around with eating disorders using the weight loss pen. But there are people who potentially will do that. So I won't negate that. However, there's a huge subset of people, and the estimates are that only approximately 14% of people exercise on a regular basis. So that is a huge majority of people who don't exercise, and there's various reasons. But as women go through the perimenopause and the menopause, one of the biggest things that happens is they get aches in joints, they're a bit more sluggish. Exercise simply becomes harder. The fact that exercise becomes harder and they're trying to lose weight makes it a very frustrating journey. So when you look at the weight loss pen, what you're looking at is something that's going to help people be able to navigate this very tricky time without having to throw so much emotion at it, without having to be hitting the gym, and we know that that doesn't really work because 80% of weight loss is diet and not exercise. And it allows people to be able to say, okay, actually, I can deal with the hot flushes, I can deal with other things that are going on, but there's something here that's actually assisting me with my weight loss. So the science behind this is really, really real. I started using the weight loss pen in 2018. This is before COVID, before everyone talked about it. And at that time, there were people who were nervous about it, but also at the same time, people were saying, wow, this is something that can actually help me lose weight effectively. And then COVID came, and then people put on the COVID kilo or the COVID stone, and a lot of people now started to look for ways in which they could lose weight effectively, because now they were stuck. They've been sitting at home, they're not been moving. A lot of women who were in the perimenopausal time were thinking, I can't start exercising. And this became a very, very effective tool. Now, fast forward to 2024, there was a big announcement last year where one of the biggest celebrities in the world, Oprah Winfrey, came out and said she's using a form of a weight loss pen. We don't know which one. And she just said, I'm just sick and tired of yo-yoing because I've been trying to gain and to lose weight my entire career. And I want to just stop. I am tired. And she went on it. And if you've seen a photo or any image of Oprah now, she actually looks, I would say, arguably the best that she's looked in the past 3 or 4 decades. And this is because she's used a weight loss pen, but she's also increased the amount of exercise that she's doing. And one of the studies has shown that people who do lose weight actually are able to exercise better, safer, less aches and pains, have got a lot more energy. So it's one of these things that allows you to be able to do the thing you actually want to do. That's on the celebrity side. Now let's talk about the science side. So everyone keeps asking me about the pen. How safe is this? Diabetic patients are some of the most investigated patients in medicine. Why? Because you're constantly monitoring the glucose, you're constantly monitoring the kidney function, you're monitoring the heart, you're monitoring the blood pressure all the time. These weight loss pens were first started off with diabetic patients to stabilize the insulin. So when we started using the weight loss pen, and this is probably about a decade ago, so this is not new, this is probably like 2014 is when they first started using them. These are patients who, number one, were monitored very regularly. Number two, had a high propensity of medical comorbidities. In other words, they don't just have diabetes, they potentially have high blood pressure, they potentially have high cholesterol. So they are high-risk patients in general. And these patients were monitored over a long period of time. And so far and to date, we do not have any data that actually stating that they are increased risks with the pen. So we've got a decade of information from people who are actually potentially very high risk. And so far, we don't have anything that shows that these pens are going to be a problem. What's just come out in the last month or so is that we have found that kidney disease and heart disease is actually improving people who have been on Wegovy or Ozempic, Mounjaro, whichever type you want. They did a study of 17,000 patients who had heart disease. Now, we're not talking about obesity. These are people with plain heart disease whose heart monitoring charts improved on this medication. We don't know why, but we know it actually improves that. Same thing for kidney disease. We have patients who have kidney disease outside of obesity, and they've been put on, potentially they were put on it obviously because they had obesity or they were overweight, but their kidney function tests, in other words, the blood tests that were done, not the weight, that were done after they started Wegovy, improved. So heart disease and kidney disease improving, a big major thing. The third thing is potentially cancer, because we know that obesity increases your rate of cancer. The biggest cause of breast cancer, one of the biggest causes of breast cancer is actually obesity. So if you bring someone's weight, it's a no-brainer, down, you will decrease the risk of breast cancer. So this is where we are, and this is where the landscape has been with the weight loss plan. Now, we've got a few questions that I'll answer right at the end. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a snippet of why I personally am doing this, what the mission is around the perimenopause and menopause. But let's bring this to now a MediSpa. There's an amazing video I watched 2 weeks ago, and I actually posted it on my Instagram stories. As a fitness trainer, a really big, well-known one in the UK, and he did a video 4 months ago, and the video was about how bad Ozempic is, and do not go into Wegovy or any of these weight loss pens. 2 weeks ago, he posted a video. At the beginning of this video, and he's almost like the Gordon Ramsay of fitness training. He's just blunt, bit of a potty mouth, but he called it as it is. And he said, I was horribly wrong. What I said in that video, and he put the video in, was completely wrong. And his theory was this. If you look at people when they come and talk about health and wellness, a lot of them, their goal is to feel good, but they want to feel good by losing weight. And we've got a fantastic gym facility here. And one of the things that happens is people get embarrassed to go to the gym. People feel, oh, I can't, I'm too heavy. I mean, when I try and work out, people are gonna look at me funny. So his whole theory was like, we need to get over that. And if you can get patients to lose weight and go to the gym, it's a double plus. The other thing is that people move more when they start to lose weight. So people start to take the stairs when they start to lose weight. Now, when someone's overweight is put on 10 kilos, the last thing they want to do is take the stairs. They're having hot flushes, they're out of breath, they're sweating, and you tell them, do the stairs. But if that person loses 2-3 kilos, they get motivated. So motivation is a big thing. The spa facilities that we have here, you've got personal trainers who can take you through that. And if you have something that is an integrated approach, so I'm not just saying take the weight loss pen, you need to build muscle mass. I talked about sarcopenia. You need to be able to understand stress and stress management. There's nutritionists, there's therapists here, there's a doctor here talking about the medical side. All of these things are all put in under one roof to help you to be able to achieve the goals that you want to do. So I won't go any longer on the weight loss pen. There's a lot of questions right at the end that I'll do frequently asked questions. But I hope this is giving you a bit of a snippet into why we're doing what we're doing as a MediSpa to be able to help women, especially in the perimenopause and menopause time, be able to conquer their weight. So what I'll do now is I will introduce Dr. Charlene Opanding. She's a resident medical doctor. So we have a doctor that's based here at Infinity Medical Spa. And she's going to talk about skincare. She's very passionate about skincare. She's got an Instagram. Not just the medical side of skincare, but the aesthetic approach in terms of skincare and what's the best way to achieve the look that you want, from breakouts to pigmentation and so on and so forth. So without further ado, I'll just hand over to Charlene.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay, great. Did I just face forward? Okay. Hello, everyone's here. I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring the faces here. This way? Okay, great. Hi, my name is Dr. Charlene Opande. So my love for skin, that's where I'm going to start before I start my presentation, which came from my love for makeup. So I discovered makeup when I was in medical school. Anyone who's been to University of Nairobi knows there's long breaks in between there, and so that's how I was able to explore other interests, and that's how I fell in love with makeup. When I fell in love with makeup, I started pursuing it professionally, and the more clients I got, the more I recognized a lot of women don't know about their skin, right? This way? A lot of women don't understand their skin, they didn't know their skin type, they didn't know what would work for them. And of course, if the skin is not okay, the makeup will not look good. So I was like, okay, there's something here that I could pursue, and that's what led me to aesthetic medicine, or cosmetic medicine, or dermatology, if you'd call it that. So on the talk today, we're focusing on skincare in menopause, but some of the things I'm discussing can still be applied to any skincare regimen because science remains, it's factual, so it can be applied across the whole age groups, right? All the demographics. So I guess I can start. Yes, so today we're going to focus about skincare in menopause. So we're all going to experience menopause as women. It's something, we cannot stop it from happening. We're all going to experience it. We're all going to experience aging. So it's just about how can we do it better, or how can we age gracefully. We're not trying to attain this magical fountain of youth, but more so, we still want to look good, feel good, as Dr. Dawn said. We're all about making people feel good. And so this is where now skincare comes in. So I'll just start by, I don't think anyone on the other side can see, but everyone in this room can see the basic anatomy of the skin. And I think this is a great place, okay. This is a great place to start because we have to understand the kind of products we're using and what it's directly targeted to. And so to make better educated decisions in the kind of products we want to do, in the kind of procedures we want to pursue, and what it is that you're spending your money on. So on the layers of the skin, so we'll just focus on the 3 basic layers, which is the epidermis, which is the topmost layer. Then beneath that we have the dermis, then we have the hypodermis. So on the epidermis, you'll just have your dead skin cells and the pigment of your skin, the melanin, and also immune cells, which protect your skin. And then the dermis, which is important in this talk, has the collagen, the elastin fibers. So that's what keeps the skin plump and youthful and all the good stuff. So just try and remember this as we talk through the treatments. I'm going to keep going back to just tell you how it all works. Oopsie. Okay. So back to menopause. So a lot of things happen during menopause, and as Dr. Dawn spoke of, estrogen, you have a lot of hormonal imbalances, so your estrogen declines, and then your levels of testosterone go up, and so that's why a lot of the changes that you see on the skin is because of these hormonal imbalances. On top of that, there are other factors that play to how your skin will be during this period of your life. So your lifestyle affects how you'll be. So if you're obese, if you haven't been wearing sun protection for a long time, this is a time where it will really come to play to see just how your skin regimen, even during your 20s, your 30s, have an effect during this time in your life. And so the common things that we see in menopausal, postmenopausal women, you'll have the dryness of your skin, you'll have wrinkles, acne, this postmenopausal acne, the elasticity of your skin goes off, and pigmentation. So those are the things we're going to try and tackle because those are the most common things and the most common changes that happen during this period. So we're going to focus on cosmeceuticals. So what cosmeceuticals are, this is skincare that has pharmaceutical agents which have been tested, clinically tested, and we know they act on what it is that they're targeting, right? So it works. This has been proven, and so that's what we're going to be focusing on in tackling the issues we have. So the products that we're going to focus on is by a brand called Jan Marini. It's a US brand. And so it came up with this 5-step system since I think it began 1995. And so it's been simplified, right? And I think the best way to be compliant to your skincare is if it's simple, it's easy, you can wake up every morning, before bed, also just throw it on, and then you can see the effects. Because it's all about consistency with skincare. You can't do it Monday, skip Tuesday, Wednesday. It's all about consistency. It's a journey, and that's something we have to remember to get the kind of results that we want. Yes. So we're going to focus on 5 steps, right? So the first step is cleansing. And obviously this is a very important step because we're always outside, we're surrounded by God knows what in the air, a lot of pollution happening. So all that has to come off, right? So with cleansing, so the cleanser that we see here, it's a bioglycolic face cleanser. So this one is special because it does have glycolic acid. So not only does it like cleanse your face, it exfoliates at the same time. And the importance of this exfoliation in this step, and it's mild exfoliation, let me repeat that, because it's a daily cleanser. So, so the glycolic acid wouldn't be too harsh on your skin, and it will be good enough to remove all the dead cells so that the next steps can be, so that your skin can take in the next steps better. And another thing I want to mention about cleansing, we don't want soap in your cleanser, right? Because as I mentioned, one of the changes that happens during menopause is your skin becomes dry. And so if you have soap in your cleanser, or what you use is soap to cleanse your skin, most soap is alkali, and our skin is acidic in its nature. So once you shift that pH, you dry your skin even more and make it worse, right? And so that's not what we want. So the good thing is always get a gentle cleanser, and yeah. That would be the first step. The second step is rejuvenation. And here we're focusing on vitamin C for that. So everybody knows that vitamin C in your regimen is important. And the reason is vitamin C has been known for repairing of the skin. It's been known for depigmentation. It's been known for anti-aging and all these good stuff, right? So the importance of this one specifically is the kind of vitamin C that it has. So there are 2 primary forms of vitamin C that's used in skincare. So we have the ascorbic acid, which I think a lot of people have seen in the products that are out there. But this one has ascorbyl palmitate. And why that is important is because if we can remember the epidermis that I spoke of, it's a lipid layer, right? And so you need something that can penetrate through that lipid layer. So ascorbic acid, the regular one, which is in a lot of other serums, is water soluble. So it can penetrate as well through that layer to get into the dermal layer. Because where we want this vitamin C to act would be the dermal layer, right? Because that's where we want the regeneration to happen. That's where the collagen is, the elastin is. So that's where we want the work to happen. And so with the Jan Marini Siesta, it has the ascorbyl palmitate, which is lipid soluble. So it penetrates through the epidermal layer, gets to the region where it wants, it needs, we want it to do. So the regeneration, the rejuvenation effect that we want, so that's important. So vitamin C, that's this second step. So we go to the third step, which is resurfacing. So another word for that is exfoliation. So with menopause or with aging, there's decreased turnover, cell turnover. So what that is, the cells, we have a lot of dead skin cells on the surface of a skin, right? So the way our body works is the lower layers of the skin, that's where the cells are generated, and then they slowly move up, and then once they're dead, that's what's sloughed off, right? And so as you age, that sloughing off decreases, and that means less new cells are coming to the surface. So that's why you'll see as you age, you have like duller skin and thicker in certain areas, and it's flaky and all that stuff because of all the dead skin. So this is very important because one, the exfoliating will increase the cell turnover. And on top of that, on this product, the John Marini product, it has glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and azelaic acid. So the glycolic acid is an AHA, so it helps with anti-inflammation, it helps with the cell turnover, as I discussed, and over time, exfoliation, over time, it helps also in collagen regeneration as well. And so then we also have the salicylic acid, which we all know is anti-acne, so it will go into the deep pores, remove all the gunk that's in there, and also the azelaic acid, which helps with depigmentation. So this is a very important step, which will address all the challenges we saw. We talked about acne, postmenopausal acne. We talked about the dryness of the skin. We talked about the pigmentation that happens. So this is a very important step to include in your routine to tackle all these issues. Then hydration. We all know how important hydration is. And so obviously as you grow, as you're going through menopause, one of the issues that we have is, one, your skin gets thinner, it gets drier, and as well as, and the reason it gets dry is because the ability of your skin to hold water diminishes as you go, as you get older. And so we need, as much as we can, help to try and retain the structure that can help us retain the moisture that we have in our body. So hydration really is also from the inside, so that's why lifestyle plays an important role in your skincare. So you have to drink lots of water, have your vegetables, have your fruits. Hydration on the inside will show on the outside. So the good thing about this step 4 of the John Marini, the face cream, it not only has, so not only does it give the hydration, so the elements that are key here, it has peptides, growth factors, and hyaluronic acid. So the growth factors and the peptides, as we all know, peptides are used, it's an anti-aging component. So this is what's gonna help boost your collagen, boost your elastin, so help refine the wrinkles that come with aging. The growth factors helps in healing of the skin. So if there's any damaging that happens, photo damaging from the environment, from the sun, any free radical damages that happens on your skin, you would really, really benefit from this in your routine. Then of course, the final step, which is step 5, is sun protection. The 2 things which science has shown us that truly cause aging, as we know, aside from genetics and lifestyle, we know is sun damage, and free radicals, right? So we have to protect ourselves from the sun. There's no exception to it. You have to wear sun protection. As well as, because you are using acids on your face, as we've talked about the exfoliation step and all that, you need to protect your skin, because now you've exposed the new cells to the surface of the skin. We want to protect that, and so having your SPS is important. And yeah, I would recommend the John Marini that. So yes, just to conclude the 5 steps, I hope it's been educative, and yeah, that will be it. Do you need to do this?
Yeah.
Was that okay? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mokina Chubani, and I'm the Infinity Spa consultant. I'm happy to have all of you here today. And first, before I talk about the Infinity Spa, before I discuss about the Infinity Spa. Excuse us for a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to introduce my therapists. Can you all come here, please? Nicole. This is my team that we operate. Some of my team, one of them is still on duty. She's going to come in later. We have Yvonne, we have Nicole, and Nellis. These are the therapists that we have downstairs that assist us to make the Infinity Spa what it is. And then we have Devi, who is actually attending to a client at the moment, but she'll be here. She's from Indonesia. So she does most of our thigh massages. Thank you. Yeah. I would like to talk about Infinity Spa, what sort of services we're offering. Now we're introducing, again, we introduced last time our weight loss program. I would like to tell you it's on board now. So in Infinity Spa, what we do for the weight loss program, we have a nutrition on board. And what will the nutrition do for you on your journey with your weight loss program is to assist you with your meal planning, also with a little bit of education. Sometimes you need to know why you're gaining weight, what you're eating right, if you're eating right or if you're eating wrong. And then which is also going to help you with your meal planning. Now in Gem Suits, together with Infinity, we can now prep your meals and deliver them to you with a plan that we have. So the nutrition is going to sit and discuss with you individually, and on top of that, we'll have group sessions that everybody will come into a group and we can monitor your process, your progress. The other person that we have on board is a nurse, because we know that when you're doing a weight loss program, we need to check your blood pressure, your sugar, and your weight. So every week, we'll have people come in who join the program. We'll watch your weight, we'll do your sugar, we'll do your pressure, and also do your measurements, your size, your waist, your arms, so that we can see. Sometimes you can work out or you can do some diet, but you think you're not losing weight, but you are losing inches. And if you know that you're losing inches, you don't get discouraged. Most of us actually stand on the weight. And then we said, oh my God, I've been dieting for a whole month and nothing has happened. I've been working out, I've been doing this, nothing has happened. But something is happening. So that's why we do measurements every time you come in to show you there is a progress. And then on top of that, on board on our weight loss program, we have a physiotherapist. Because sometimes you could have some excess weight and you can't do much weight because you have knee problem, back problem. So with that, we'll assist you to do some physiotherapy sessions so that eventually you'll be able to join us in the gym. With the weight loss program, we have our gym instructors. We have a lady gym instructors because there's some ladies who would like to be assisted by a lady gym instructors instead of a man gym instructor. So we have both a man gym instructor and a lady gym instructor to assist you in your weight loss program. On top of that, we have yoga and we have aerobics. Yeah, and we are also intending to have outside activities like going to Karura Forest or going to Arboretum, and we do outside activities for the program. And within the program, we have also beauty treatments. But I would allow Yvonne to come and tell us about the beauty treatments that we have to assist you while you're doing your weight loss program. Welcome, Yvonne, please.
Thank you, Madam Okina, for the warm welcome. As I talk to you about Infinity Spa and Wellness Center, I would like to reiterate some of the things that have been said here tonight. We are moving into a fully fledged Medi-Spa. And as Dr. Dawn has introduced the weight loss program, we at Infinity Spa, it is our duty and our mission to help you during this journey. At the spa, we have a number of treatments that aid the weight loss journey, including our Slimming Detox treatment, which focuses on helping you eliminate your cellulite. This is done by the ingredients in the products we use during the treatment, which contain carotene and caffeine. This starts by breaking up the fat in your body, and as we do the treatment, we include lymphatic drainage massages, and we have also now introduced the use of wood therapy treatments. Wood therapy treatments have been shown to be very effective. Wood therapy treatments have been shown to be very effective during dealing with weight loss. And we also have our instructors at the gym. And like Mokina said, we have a lady instructor and a gentleman who come up with a workout schedule that is in line with what the doctors recommend. And lastly, just as Dr. Charlene has spoken about Gian Marini products, we would like you to know that now Gian Marini facials will be available at the spa, and we're ready to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Okay, with this weight loss program, as I said in the beginning, we are ready to start. So we want some people to register so that by the end of any questions that you want, you can write to us, register, so that we can start the journey with you. Yeah? Dr. Dawn, who I know you have very many questions for Dr. Dawn and Dr. Charlene. Please write them down, send them to us, and we'll answer you. Thank you so much. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who came today, and also to thank our host, our director, Dr. Susan, giving us this opportunity over and over again to talk to you, to educate you about different things. We are going to be running this program regularly, and we'll be sending out some videos. We'll be telling you, we'll be emailing it to you or sending them on WhatsApp, so that you can keep up with the program that we are going through. Next time that you hear from us, we'll have everybody on board and the program would have started. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Thank you.